Let's talk about today's international games. So, today we're going to be talking about two games. We're going to be talking about USA versus Lithuania and Spain versus Canada. So, we're going to be talking about these games, and let's start with Spain versus Canada. I know that everyone wants me to talk about the USA one, but I'll get to that one. Spain versus Canada is a match which was insanely good. Honestly, it started off pretty slow. They were both tied in the first round, in the first quarter. But as the game picked up, Spain took steam and they just destroyed Canada, in the second quarter. And they came back in the third and won again. So coming into the third quarter, it was like this game is decided, or it's going to take a heroic effort from Canada to actually win this game. Canada before this game was 3-1, so they had won 3 games, lost one. And if they would have lost this game, then it probably would have disqualified them from the FIBA World Cup. And that would have been very sad since Canada is one of the biggest contenders in the whole tournament. With Spain, they had a 3-1 record coming into the game also. And basically, this was like a tiebreaker match, and I'm pretty sure that now both of these teams, right? Canada won and Spain lost. So I'm pretty sure Spain is going to have a way tougher time if they actually want to get to the finals or they're fully eliminated from the tournament. So when we look at this game, and I was watching it, and what I was seeing from Canada that really set them apart was defense. Spain just looked like offensively they were perfect, right? They like Willie Hernan Gomez was going insane, right? Their players were actually really hustling. Santi Aldama just looked like he couldn't be stopped out there, and their players were just playing so well that it was scary. But the biggest thing with Spain is that they got to a point where they were doing it so consistently, right? But the defense was getting better and they were not finding more ways to score. And this especially happened in the fourth quarter when it looked like Spain, because of Canada's really tough defense, it looked like they had a problem with actually figuring Canada out. Apart from this, is that Canada was shooting like monsters. It didn't look like they were missing a shot. And the only shot that I remember from the game that I saw being missed in the last fourth quarter or third quarter of the game was an SGA pull-up jumper from Canada. But apart from that, it felt like every other shot was going in. The Nickeil Alexander-Walker from three in the corner, those 3 threes that Dylan Brooks shot, which he made all of them, which I just want to say that I'll talk about Dylan Brooks later. And just in terms of everything, it looked like Canada amped up their defense and weren't missing a shot on offense. And that caused them that in the fourth quarter, they outscored Spain 27-12. And I believe that this game is a prime example of play the possession, not the game, not the score. Because in this game, it felt like Canada was actually going and just trying to make each possession a good one, right? On defense, it felt like they were trying to get steals, cause a break, cause something to happen. And on offense, it felt like they were trying to get the best shot possible. And in my opinion, that's how you win a game. That's what USA needed in their match, since they were playing the score, not the possession. But now that we see Canada do it, I believe that they played phenomenally. And I'm just going to now talk about some of the stand-up performances. I already talked about Spain, Willie Hernan Gomez and Santi Aldama. They were both phenomenal, right? I liked Usman Garuba and how tough he was in this game, because even though he doesn't have a lot of box score stats, he was like, it felt like he was always there, making it uncomfortable for other players, right? I really liked Usman Garuba in this game. And I also want to talk about Nunez, who in the end really sold, and I do believe that it came back to bite him. But for Canada, I want to talk about 3 main people. First, Shea. I think that Shea, coming into the third quarter, he was just completely off. But as soon as that fourth quarter started, and as soon as his team got on a run, I believe that he just changed it up. He started making what felt like everything, and he got fouled a ton of times. And Shea had a spectacular performance, even hitting the game winner, which was that step back jump that he did, a mid-ranger that he hit. That was phenomenal, and Shea really brought it home as the superstar of this team. And then Dylan Brooks. I shout out to Nickeil Alexander-Walker for hitting that 1-3, which really helped seal the game. not seal, but help push the game. But Dylan Brooks was that guy. Like if you actually watch the game, Shea has better statistics, but Dylan Brooks was the guy. He hit three threes. He shot 100% from three. He was hitting tough shots, and he was playing such great defense where he was forcing turnovers, he was forcing uncomfortable situations. And in my opinion, Dylan Brooks in this game, if he keeps playing like this, then he's gonna, be special in his next year in the NBA because he played like a beast. And not only did he play like a beast, he also did everything for his team. He played defense, offense, and was there, setting screens, was dribbling into his shot. So it felt like he was just playing to win the game. It wasn't he was playing for ego like it looks like he sometimes does. So shout out to Dylan Brooks. Now, for the next game, it's the United States versus Lithuania. Now, this is phenomenal. This game is insane because, in my opinion, this is one of the biggest choking jobs that we've seen. And this is one of the biggest upsets that we can see. First, I just want to say that Lithuania just came in with a hot hand. They shot 20 free throws. No, they shot 25 free throws, made 80% of them. And they made 56% of their threes and 52% of their field goals. And in my opinion, that was just crazy, right? Like Lithuania, it wasn't like one guy had 20 points. It's just everyone was cooking individually and they were all going for the best shot possible. And in my opinion, that's something really special to see from a team. And really, they felt like the Denver Nuggets did in the 2023 playoffs, where it felt like every tough shot that they were shooting went in. And I don't know if you guys remember in the series versus the Lakers that Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray were hitting those like end of the shot clock. You just have to throw up a heave. And it felt like Lithuania was making all of those, especially the one where it was Anthony Edwards defending the Lithuanian. I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but there was literally like a second and a half on the clock. He just put the shot up after having struggled with Anthony Edwards' defense, and he made it. And in my opinion, that was really the turning point of where it's like every single time the United States scored 6 points, Lithuania would just come back on the other end and hit 2 threes, right? Then for the United States, in my opinion, we have to check Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was terrible this game, and I understand that he shot 40% from the field or whatever, but he missed a really clutch free throw because he got 3 free throws which could have pushed the game further, but he missed it, and in my opinion, that was horrible, right? I also want to say that Jaren Jackson Jr., like he turned the ball over in crucial moments, and it just felt like everyone except Anthony Edwards was melting down at the end of the game, and they were just giving it to Anthony Edwards because it was like, oh, yo, look, none of us can do anything. You please make it work. I want to say that Josh Hart was terrible too, even though he doesn't get a lot of touches. He had 0 shot attempts. He had 1 shot attempt. He had 0 from 3, 0 from the free throw line, and he's out there for 13 minutes. So in my opinion, Josh Hart starting, they should cut him from the starting job just for this game. Brandon Ingram played actually well in the minutes that I saw from him. He should have gotten more play time, even if he did cause, some fouls and some turnovers. But the biggest thing for me this game was that Paolo Banchero and Tyrese Halliburton barely played, right? Like, in my opinion, yes, Tyrese Halliburton played 19 minutes, but Tyrese Halliburton is the best shooter you have on this team, apart from maybe Austin Reeves, right? In terms of percentages and how much they make them, Mikal Bridges, Tyrese Halliburton, and Austin Reeves. And in my opinion, not playing Tyrese Halliburton in the end of the game really costed them their game because they needed a guy to bring the ball up the floor, and Jalen Brunson was just not delivering. He hit 1 mid-ranger, which was pretty good, and it helped them get a lead. But every single time he got fouled, it felt like he was making the wrong decision. And I feel like Jalen Brunson was the one who cost them this game because on the last play of the game, on one of the last plays of the game, there was like maybe 20 seconds to go, and Jalen Brunson, the best thing is Mikal Bridges was in the corner, and the best thing would have been pass it to him so he can shoot a wide open 3, and because it was a 2-possession game, Lithuania was up 6 points. Jalen Brunson drove right into the defense and got a 2-point foul, and in my opinion, that's when the game sold. It slowed the game down. It didn't give USA enough time, and they would have to foul too much to actually get up from that, and that play ruined the game. I also want to say for everything bad that happened with USA, I want to say shout out to Anthony Edwards because he was phenomenal. You know, he dropped 35 points. It felt like he was making them in crunch time. And for how many shots he got at the end of the game, it really felt like he was delivering. He got 3 steals, he got a block, and he got 2 assists, and he only had 2 turnovers and 3 fouls. I love Anthony Edwards, and in my opinion, the USA just has to be better around him, and they have to fix their rotations soon. And that's been FIBA for today. Tell me what you thought about the games.